Okay, good afternoon again, everyone. Let me officially welcome you to November 2026 ICANN lecture diet with Next Page Tutors. My name is Simeon, and I have my other colleagues on the call as well, and we will be walking you through what our processes look like and what we have in place for you just to ensure you have a smooth November 2026 diet. And the session is being recorded as well. I mean, just to ensure that we have full backup for those that will be missing this session, because I mean, quite a number of people are starting the diet from the very beginning, which is those of you that are live on YouTube on this call as well. So congratulations for starting from the beginning, really, because that is always the best time to start. Those that are starting at some point during the diet, not anything bad, but of course they will always need some time to catch up and measure up really. So we have a couple of things in our agenda, and we will be walking you through that as well. So, but the first thing really is to start by looking at our um, starter pack. Just one sec. Uh, Message for Kato. Yeah, so I've just dropped a message for Kato. Kato, if we can get that into the chat box, that would be nice so that everyone can see the agenda that we want to walk through. And then the other bit is that we've tried to remove your being able to mute or unmute yourself. So just to ensure that the session is not we reduce distraction to the barest minimum. So again, welcome to Next Page Tutors 2020, November 2026 Diet Lecture. And the primary document we use to welcome students is this starter pack, which is, I believe you can see on my screen. If you can see starter pack showing you table of content with a couple of things that we want to look through, can you give me some reactions, please? Just to ensure we're together. Okay, great, great. I can thumbs. Thank you for that. And this is always your go-to document. This is always your go-to document. I mean, to start off with, I welcome you again to Next Page Tutors. This is a welcome page telling you that we are an accredited tuition house with proven track records. This past diet, we produce quite a number of chartered accountant, close to 100 chartered accountant in this last diet. That's a huge number. And many students moving from foundation level to skills level as well, from skills level to professional level. A lot of you on this call, you know what I'm talking about because you have been our students before now. Okay. I think Kato has dropped the agenda in the chat box. You can have a look at it. Yeah. So, and the way this session is structured, if you look at the chat box, is that you have got this most of the content that will be coming from this starter pack, as well as the registration bit. And of course, there are certain things that we will be emphasizing on in the process, right? Covering the entire thing that you need to know in the course of this diet. And then there will be a dedicated session for Q&A. So you can get ready for that. So after we are done with the presentation, and then we go on with Q&A. So welcome again to Next Page Tutors. And then um, so the starting point is for you to know the big lecture plan we have for you. So lecture is expected to start on July 4 and end on October 25, right? And our lectures are always well planned in a way that we try to stick to the day we said we are starting lecture, and also ensure we end lecture on the day we say we are ending lecture, just to allow you for time to prepare, maybe some weeks to prepare, do last minute revision and feel all right. Okay. And then you would see that our standard lecture duration is 3 hours. Sometimes it can be 2 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes, or even 4 hours. Revision classes are like 4 hours, 5 hours, because we try to like do a lot of things in the class. Okay. And then if you grow a bit, if you go a bit more granular into what we have for you in between that July and October, you would see lecture is starting today with a general orientation. Virtual lecture will run from July 4 to October 25. In that process, there will be mid-diet review on August 30. It's already fixed, right? A mid-diet review to come and ask ourselves questions like where are we? Are there areas we need to speed up and cover? And all of those. And are there things we need to reshape, basically, just to ensure we are still on track to keep all of you happy? Okay. And then there is a standard mock examination which we conduct every diet. If you go to our e-library, you get to see all of these things, the mock exams for the past diets there. And then there is the mock exam debrief, which is integrated into our revision lectures, to see after the mock exam has been done, we then try to like walk you through what your feedback looks like for the mock exams, and then we have a chat around it. I will also show you our course tracker where you can see the past assessments for previous mock exams. We'll do more on mock exams, right? Then general revision has been scheduled to happen after that mock exam. Then there will also be case study pre-scene simulation, which we'll talk more about. And then this is the summary of our lecture model coming from that plan where we said we run full lecture for about 17 to 18 weeks, and our lecture currently is online. They are recorded, and access will be provided to every registered student. The access to the videos, the recorded lecture, is not separated from the live lecture. So once you register for our lecture, you have access to everything. It's not the case where you would say, I want to register and get the videos alone. We don't separate it. You register for our lecture, we hold your hands and give you everything that you need. Okay. We maintain a general WhatsApp group where information is passed. A lot of you on this call are already on that general platform. And we also have a separate group for each level. We don't maintain groups for each course. We maintain group for each level, right? So a lot of you, except if you've been with MPT before now, you are not on the level group yet, because we have not started using the level group. We are still using the main group. So it is when the lecture is now restricted to pay to those that have paid that will now get people added to the level group, and then the general group will now be for general information, while your communication will now be going on the level group. And that is how and we also have a Telegram group where even people that are not students, everybody can join, just to be able to see information that are being shared there as well, especially for the past materials, because the way a Telegram works, anytime you join, you'll be able to see the past records. And then we maintain a Google course tracker, which we are going to walk you through. It helps you to basically see where things are at every point in time. I'm not sure you can see my face very well, but I don't know if it's the network from my end or your end, but if you can see it well, you can give me some thumbs. Otherwise, please don't give a thumb. Okay. Okay, that means you can see me anyways. We also maintain a Google e-library, which I'm going to show you, and see how we structure things in that e-library as well. So I'm going to show you some of these specific things. We provide course charts. I'm going to show you course chart as well. Just in a couple of minutes from now, I will show you some of these things that we're talking about. We conduct standard mock exam. I will show you this as well. We have a body system, and body system is, I'll probably refer back to this lecture model when I want to start showing you these things so that we don't omit any. But for body, we can do that once and for all. So the body system is done in a way that, apart from just teaching you, we believe you need beyond just teaching. A lot of you need emotional support. A lot of you need accountability. A lot of you need somebody to put you on your toe to put in your best in this preparation. So what we do is, when we get to week 1, week 2, or week 3, we divide our students into groups, and we assign tutor to each group. So we call it a body system, where you will now be holding session from time to time to actually talk about your personal life and how it's affecting your mock exams. If there are strategy that you can adopt, the tutors will always share. You also hear from what others are going through, pick up 1 or 2 lessons from there and adjust things properly. So there will be a separate timetable that will come up soon. It will be shared on the group, and that timetable, we would have predetermined the date that each body session is going to hold throughout the diet. It's always about 6 to 7 sessions, and it's already scheduled for. And then we'll send you a link for each body session. You will receive it via email, and the list of all the students assigned to a particular tutor will also be in the course tracker. I'm going to show you course tracker briefly. For those of you that have paid, you received a notification few minutes before this call giving you access to the course tracker. You can check your email, and if you can already see that, you can give me some thumbs and say, oh, I have my course tracker. I received a couple of minutes before this session. Okay, I can see plenty hands already showing that yes, people have gotten access to the course tracker. We put in a lot of things in there, and it shows we're together. We have our standard timetable where this is the timetable, a standard timetable. This standard timetable guides us. Okay, so it's not actually time for Q&A. So nobody is expected to ask questions at this point. There will be question and answer session at the end of the presentation. Okay, because I think one hand was raised earlier. I don't know if it was a mistake or so. This standard timetable is our reference point anytime we need to set schedule of lecture for a particular week. And you would see that this timetable has been prepared to say, oh, there are certain courses that when you wake up first thing on Saturday morning, we are hitting you with SFM, PM, and MA. Sunday as well, it's starting with FA, FR, and SBR, and other courses are fixed in between as well. And it do change, and you would also see those ones with asterisk, really, where it's a period where we try to flex somehow. So you see that period in professional level that says SBR, SFM. So what we do is that it depends. So it depends on which one we need to fix, or which one we need to double up. So that's what we do there. Sometimes you will see SBR 12 to 3 and then SBR 4 to 6, or it could be SBR 12 to 3 and SFM 4 to 6 on that period, this particular period. And then case study as well. I'm going to show you, because case study is not a course that can occupy. We have a different model that is different from all other courses. So we have asterisk that because sometimes we take that period and utilize it for other courses. And then you see same thing for skills level. There is a period showing PMFM, and that period is to tell you that it's a flexible period. And most importantly, this timetable is a standard lecture timetable that guides us to set weekly lecture schedule. So what you need to check is actually your weekly lecture schedule, which is usually updated on the course tracker and is also shared on the WhatsApp group every Tuesday. So every Tuesday, you would get a lecture schedule that mirrors this timetable. May not be exactly, because we flexed it like I already explained. So you will now see columns showing your time, the course, the name of the tutor, and even the topic that we are going to take. In fact, if you look at the schedule that was shared this week, I think it came in on Tuesday as well. So it's similar, but it's just so many empty spaces this weekend because we are utilizing this entire today for orientation and the IFRS 18 webinar that is upcoming this evening. Okay, so but that's the same structure that I'm trying to speak to, and that is that regarding our timetable. And of course, when we now get to mid diet and we deem it fit that maybe because of situation of things we need to adjust this timetable, we do what? We adjust it. And that is why you see that this our starter pack is labeled V1, the first version. So the second version will usually come up during the mid-diet review where we need to update some things, and that will be duly communicated or shared with you. The next slide here speaks to our lecture fee. This lecture fee has not changed from previous diet, and this is it for each course. So in case you are wondering what is this table speaking to, this number of papers here is just telling you that you should check the number of papers you are writing. If you are writing 3 papers, check this column that has 65,000, 80,000, or 85,000, depending on the level, whether you are skills, professional, or foundation level. So if you are writing 3 foundation paper, it means you're paying 65,000 and that's all. If you are writing professional 4 papers, it means you're paying 100,000 and that's all. So that is how to pick your fee from this timetable. Now, the most important bit is the account details. I can see some people already, from what the admin guys are giving us feedback, that some people are already making mistake of paying to the designated to a wrong account. And when I say wrong account, not like an external account, but we have account designated for each purpose, okay? And when you pay to a wrong account that is not designated for a particular purpose, it delays our response, because a separate person is verifying and treating your lecture fees. Another separate person is treating anything registration related. So, and that is why we have separated this. So when you don't pay to the right account, you are not communicating to us. That's what happens. So ensure to pay to the right account. The first account, Providus account, is for lecture fee. And the second account, which is access account, is for registration. So the instruction is very, very important. And sometimes when you look at this now, and if you if you make it look like it's not clear enough, then we need to start asking you whether you are whether you are ready to start the diet, because it looks like this is an icon question that we need to interpret, and so we need to pay attention to detail basically. And then once you make any payment, there is a form here which is called payment log. We see, when you share evidence of payment with us on WhatsApp, you are just sharing for record's sake, for sharing sake. We don't use WhatsApp chat to actually verify your payments, because we have quite a number of students. You can imagine somebody having to say, oh, I'm waiting for somebody to share with me on WhatsApp. So we have a payment log which helps us to track everything. So once you make any payment, go into the payment log, fill your payment log and log your payment in there, and the team will pick it up to verify, and access will be granted. Access will be granted once the payment is verified. And then the other thing I need to emphasize on is that please fill the payment log carefully. Please fill it carefully. A situation where you fill a wrong course, right? Go through the courses, know the courses you are doing. The courses are put there in codes, right? You must know your course code. It's part of the journey. It's part of you showing the readiness that you are ready to start this journey, right? So if you don't know your course code, and let's say, for example, you select AAF. AAF is an auditor skills level, not AAAF, which is advanced audit at professional level. So you must know your courses, okay? And that's it when it comes to payment. And of course, if you make additional payment, it is the same link you are using. Go and click on it. It will tell you have filled it before. Click on that same place there's a place below it that you will click on to edit response and add the additional payment you made in another column, and that's it, and resubmit, and your payment will be updated and we will verify. In all of this, we have a video policy, and this video policy, one thing we need to tell you about it is that before now we had some challenges regarding videos, where, because the number of students that uses the platform we're using before, that we are still using anyways, has increased significantly. And because of the recent trends with Google security, they tends to checkmate things from back end once they see a very unusual activities. And when we now get to that exam period, when students are sleeping on the videos, we get traffic that stops the video for a few hours before it resumes back. So because of that, we are running a parallel change this diet from last diet anyways, but we are trying to, it's a parallel change from the back end, where we will still be using Google Drive, and then the same video, we are uploading it on 2 platforms, Google Drive and Vimeo, at the same time, but you are not giving access to Vimeo yet. We are going to have a separate message at some point during the diet, maybe from mid-diet now, right? When we notice that the number of people that are using the videos have really increased, and the time students get to spend on the videos have also increased, then we will allow you to have access to the Vimeo. And I'm going to show you the folder just for you to see that everything is already set up. All we just need to do from the back end is enable view, and once you start clicking on the link, it will start working, and those things have been designed properly right now. So the summary is that two platforms that you'll be using to access your videos, we are using Google Drive and we are using our um, customized Vimeo platform, which you will be using as well. And that Vimeo is not starting now, so we will not be giving you access to it now. So until mid diet. So that's basically it regarding the video platforms. And the other thing I need to mention is that access to video is not permanent. This is our intellectual resources. This we pay, we pay for the IT infrastructures, the Google Drive, Google Workspace, the Vimeo platforms, and Zoom, and all of these things that we use to, put all of these videos together, and of course keep the video as well. So those things come with cost. So, and plus of course the fact that this is an intellectual property, putting it together, the video is not for permanent access. So your payment is actually for the diet you have subscribed for. For example, you are currently enrolled for November 2025 diet. This is your payment is for this November 2020. Did I say 2025? I'm taking you back. Sorry. 2026 diet. So that's it. But we have so many things in place to encourage you. For example, if you realize that at some point, which is what which is in our next slide really, if you realize you are not going to take the exam again, keep eye on some important information. We'll get there now, the rollover and other things that you need to know. But before that, another thing you need to know is that when it comes to video, we actually do not share access with you until you are fully cleared for that course. And when we say cleared for that course, you must have fully paid for that course. Read point E. It says access to videos are only shared for courses fully paid for. Example, a student writing PMFR with a part payment that covers only fee for one paper. We will only give you access to PM or FR, right? Depending on what you've communicated with us. It's when you balance your payment that you will have access to the remaining, and that's basically the way it works. So, and when we say full payment now, payment is not for you to split it equally and say, oh, because I'm writing 5 papers, fee for 5 papers divided by 4. No. So it actually follows, let me go back a bit. It actually follows this structure that you have here. I think I'm not even in presentation mode all this while. Let me try to put it, and let me know if you can see my screen, just to be sure. Okay, great. So what you will see here is that a student who is writing 4 professional papers is supposed to pay 100,000. We are saying that to have access to one paper, you need to have paid up to 35,000. If you have paid 30,000, you don't qualify to have access to the resource folder for one course yet. If you have paid 30,000, you must pay up to 35,000. If you have paid 50,000, we'll give you access to only one, because you have not paid up to 65,000 yet to have access to 2. And that is the way it works. So we clear you access based on the courses you are fully paid for. And that's the way it's done is that the video part is a bit structured such that when we have to give you access and monitor whether you have paid or not, it gives us a lot of work that is so difficult to track. So when we give you access to the video, we want to treat it as once and for all for the diet. And that's why we treat it that way. So please take note of that. That is regarding the video policy. And then the next thing is refund and roll forward policy. A lot of people are not aware of this. A lot of people do miss it. We have documented so many key information here for you that you can even take time to read it after this session and understand it, because this part is for you. We said we make refunds, but refund is only made when you, for example, we have not given you access, you have not significantly had access to our resources, and you have not really spent time, enjoying any of it, then we can make full refund to you. And the moment we have given you access, it has given us, so we have also spent time, administrative, effort has been put in there. We've given you access to our videos. You've seen what the resources looks like. it also gives you access to downloadable notes and all of the things we have in that folder. Automatically, full refund will not be made. It will now be based on the management's decision to rationalize and say, what level of benefit do we think you have enjoyed so far? We can now make the necessary deduction and refund you the rest. And then one thing we documented there, which you need to read carefully, is that that refund is only when you request for it within if it is within 7 days, if it is within 7 days, and yeah, if you look at B. So, but if it passes 7 days and it is still within 21 days, then we can rationalize and say, okay, what have you enjoyed? The moment it passes 21 days, your lecture fee becomes non-refundable. And the only other route after it passes 21 days is rollover, which we are going to speak on briefly. And the first paragraph, that's the first point, A, also talked about our lecture, our timeline for payment, which you need to be aware of. So a lot of people will ask, oh, do you take installment? We take installment, but our installment is not allowed, is not applicable on individual student basis. We work with general timeline. So if you read that, it says payment, it says in the current diet, all students are able to access our live lecture in week 1 without any restriction. So this week, anything that is happening this week, you have access to it. These sessions that is happening today, the lectures that are happening tomorrow, you have access to it. There is no restriction. We'll send link to everybody that filled the lecture enrollment form. We can even drop the link to the WhatsApp group and everybody will have access, right? And that's what we said there. We now said from week 1, students are able to access all the courses they have indicated in our form. That's from week 2 now, right? Practically from week 2. Say, for example, you have also indicated fill the payment log by making commitment, and the moment you've made commitment, you will have access to all the courses you have indicated. There is no restriction per course. In that case, let's say you have a student that is even writing 5 professional papers that will be paying 110,000. If you have paid 20,000, 30,000, we are not restricting you to the lecture. You will have a link that you can use to access all the lectures, right? But that will only be valid from week 1 to week 4 of our lecture, which is practically end of July. Once we get to end of July, which is from this point now, from week 5, lectures are restricted to courses fully paid for. From that week 5 now, you must have been put that. What we do at that point in time is that we share link for each course, and we will only share link for the courses you have fully paid for, and that's what you have access to, and that is it. Now, the other thing is, I think we also have a student who start lecture early in the diet can choose to split payment, exactly. So, but you must bear in mind that by that week 5, we are already restricting. So whatever splits you're making, you need to consider this timeline. This is the important timeline that you just need to understand. And it is very difficult for us to apply any exception to this, because trust me, what happens is that it is so difficult to track exceptions. A lot of people will be in my DM or in the DM of my other colleagues saying, oh, please, I will get my salary this date. It is very difficult for us to apply individual exception because we deal with large number of students. We prefer to work with a standardized process, a very standardized process, especially when it comes to payment, giving access, because of the way it is from the back end. We don't like anything disrupting the records, and that's it. Now, peradventure, you change your plan during the diet, that you are no longer writing the diet or you are no longer writing a particular paper. It is important to note that you can roll forward your fee. Now, roll forward, we have 2 categories. The first category allows you to roll forward. You can change your plan, you are free, and for any reason, right? Look at C. It says students may wish to roll forward any payment due to change of their exam plan. The team will review and approve only if the request is made within 6 weeks after lecture commencement. So in week 6, you always see the rollover plan, the rollover form. That you will notice that it's coming in week 6. Week 5 is when we are giving full restriction, and week 6 is when that will be coming up. What we are trying to do is that whatever you are doing, whatever you are doing, see, take note of this week 6, because week 6 is where we can take part of the responsibility of changing your exam plan. Anything after week 6, you are responsible for changing your exam plan. We should not be responsible for it because you've spent so much time. 6 weeks is a month and a half. And whether it is your employer, because of course people change exam plan due to job, work load, and so many things, right? So we then, at that point, we don't want to be responsible for it again. And that's why we have that cutoff time. Now, for everybody that feels it that time, you will either get a full rollover if you are rolling forward everything and you are no longer writing the diet, or a part rollover if you are actually, say you've initially planned five papers, now you are deciding to reduce it to 3 or 2. So that will now be part rollover. So when we are sending out rollover approval, we send it in batches. Some people get full rollover approval, some people get part rollover. Part rollover is very common if you have filled it within 6 weeks, within 6 weeks after commencement of lecture, and you have splitted your papers. Yeah. And then the other second window is few days to exam, usually 1 week to exam. We release the roll forward policy form again to capture only people with special reasons. And we have carefully documented some very practical example of what we see as special reasons here. Students are not to tell us what we should see as special reason, because we are doing this to accommodate people that genuinely need that consideration. And you will see this policy say, indeed, now any change of exam plan after week 6 of our lecture is subject to extended review. The team will approve roll forward only when a student is able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the change is due to genuine reasons such as pregnancy, childbirth, death of a close family member, sickness, or similar reasons. So those are reasons that we look at to say, okay, even if you're changing your exam, your plan, few days to exam, few weeks to exam, we can accommodate you. And that form, when it gets to that time, a week to exam, and you have not seen it, you can even ask. And what we also do is we send it to the group and we start sending reminder to ensure people do not miss it. The purpose of this orientation is to communicate it now, so that even beyond sending it to the group, you're already aware from now. If for any reason you are changing your plan, don't forget to fill this form. The last category is that in F. You will see that it's also possible that you want to write, say, May 2027 diet, but you just want to start preparing ahead. That's also a special form of rollover, where you don't need to worry. You can actually come and register now. Indicate that intention to write May 2027 early from now, and we'll accommodate you, right? Make the payment, fill the form, start the lecture as usual. Of course, when we clear access to videos, we'll clear you as well, and you will need to refill the payment log again. And that is when it comes up that you will pay a base fee. And this base fee is that everybody needs to be on the financial list for the diet, because there is a fixed admin effort that goes with whatever is happening, during the diet. And that's why there is that base fee and all of those. So that is this policy. You see that we spent some time here. This is extremely important because a lot of conversation do come up here. And now apart from this, the other thing which management deem fit to do, which is not in this starter pack because it's always at the management discretion, is that when ICANN releases result, we have actually been consistent with this for 5 years now. And what we've done is sometimes we've changed the percentage, but when ICANN releases results, we do announce some discounts to encourage people who need to receipt for papers from the previous diet, that wrote previous diet with us, not when you're coming from other center. Those that wrote previous diet with us, we give discounts as well. So that discount has been communicated on the group. And I need to let you know, which is the most important communication. Now you can go and tell someone that you know on the platform that might not be aware of this, that rollover from previous diet or discount or part rollover, the discount that was announced for students receiving for papers, there is a timeline for it to be sorted tomorrow. So if you want to enjoy any of this, we have put a timeline of tomorrow to get it sorted. And I will tell you, so some of these things are also coming from experience from previous diets where we spend the whole diet because we create this benefit for students to accommodate people. We then create serious work for ourselves where we will spend the whole diet tracking discount. Oh, has he paid? Let me calculate manually 20% minus, and then we'll track it. And then so the way it works is that you will need to always go back to previous records, previous diet records to go and verify did the person actually pay for last diet lecture. We go through all of that throughout the diet. And that is why we have put a timeline to it. The purpose of this is even to encourage you to sit up and rewrite the paper and all of that. So there is no reason for you not to by now know whether you want to utilize it or not. And that is why we said let's put a timeline. Any payment after tomorrow, that's the deadline is tomorrow, July 5, right? So any payment after tomorrow, if you have not paid by end of tomorrow, discount rollover is off the picture from previous diets, and that is the timeline. And that's basically, I would appreciate if everyone understands from our point of view. It is something we have carefully evaluated and see that it actually creates a workload. And for those of you that have been with us, you can understand from some of the things that we experienced with the diet, when some people will even make payment and say, oh, I've paid since yesterday, I've not been given access to videos. And you find out that the admin guys at the back end might be looking at it that you've only paid 40K or 42K. Why did you pay 42K? It might be that the person did not put a comment to say I'm utilizing discount, and all of those things will now create gaps. So now is the time we want to spend some quality time to verify everything before we go deep into the diet. We'll be very busy this diet. There is a slight modification in the syllabus for some of the courses. We want to spend quality time ensuring that we are good on that side for the exam. Okay, so that's it in terms of the refund, roll forward policy, and all of these things that we have packaged here for you. If you are still with me, give me some thumbs, and we can proceed. All right. So we also, thank you. We also have the mock exam policy. And mock exam policy is that we wish we can actually come to your house and come and conduct that mock exam. We wish we can, because this is, so as an accredited tuition house, one of the biggest is just that a lot of centers don't take it the way we take it, but mock exam is actually a very significant aspect of preparing students for exam, because a lot of students are writing ICAN exam for the first time, especially at foundation level and skills level, even some few professional level. And when people are writing it for the first time, the importance of mock exam cannot be overemphasized. And that is why, even for us as an accredited tuition center, ICAN subjects every accredited tuition center to that standard of, you putting things together in a way that will help you to conduct standard mock exam for your students. And that is why I said we wish we can come to your house to come and conduct this personal exam for you. But our students are joining from different locations everywhere in the world, all over Nigeria, London. Some people are writing their exam in London, and it is what it is. Okay. So what we now plead with students is that we have this policy which actually requires all our students to participate in the mock exam. But because of the difficulty in implementing this policy and say, oh, we must put rope in your neck and drag you to come and write this mock exam, it is so difficult. What we then plead with students is that it is very difficult for me to point to anyone on this call that is below 18. If we have people below 18, maybe one or two out of hundreds, or so everyone is an adult. And for us to be an adult, you must understand what is at stake. If you understand what is at stake, you will know that mock exam is where you need to be real with yourself, like be realistic, know what is at stake, and know that this mock exam is to test my readiness for the exam, so that I will not go and mess up in the actual exam. it is better to mess up in this mock exam. Let MPT give you that feedback. In fact, the way our tutors we put poor, poor, poor. If you have seen, okay, you will have access to the course chart. You can see some mock exam feedback, where you just see poor, fair, 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 average. It is, get those feedbacks if you need to get them to wake you up. Get them. So, and that is our mock exam. It is always good to revisit it and ensure that you are so when we get to mid-diet review, we tell our students that leave ICANN exam for now. Be preparing for MPT mock exam. Just your preparation should be that you have MPT mock exam coming up next week. Focus on it. Forget about ICANN exam. So when you now prepare for that mock exam, we conduct it. The way it's done, because there will be questions around, okay, how is it now done virtually? There will be instruction, standard PDF. There will be timetable telling you this is the time you are going to be starting each course. Once that time comes, we send the PDF to the group. We give you the starting time and the ending time. We will have given you instruction on how to download an app that can help you to scan your script to PDF. If you are using iPhone, very easy to scan to PDF. And there is a portal, a link that you will upload your answer to, and it will be reviewed. So those instructions are always very clear on the group. The only thing we need from you is follow the timetable and get ready. Find a designated space like I have here, a table where you'll be able to write as if you're inside the exam hall. And if you need to go to the library to go and write the exam, for some of you that have library close to your house, if you have the environment, maybe your wife or your friend or your siblings will not distract you, you can do that at home. But we're just saying, create that exam hall for yourself at home and participate in the mock exam when the time comes. Okay, if you are still with me, give me some thumbs, and we can be sure we are still together. Okay, so there is the registration bit. I'm not going to speak to it. Kato is also on the call and he'll be picking that soon. And I will just go back to the lecture model bit just to show you some of the important things that we have highlighted before now. Okay, so to start with is that we have our videos, and the lecture videos are shared with you, not lecture videos now, maybe lecture resource folder. They are shared with you via Google Drive, and you will even get an email notification. The email, give me some thumbs if you are following me on this part, because this is important. Some of you will say, oh, I don't have access to video, I have not seen it. Oh, you need to listen to this part. Okay, I think some people are trying to give some thumbs, but they are raising their hand. Don't worry, you get used to these platforms. Okay, so the email, when it comes to video, the email is only a notification. To access your video, if you are using phone, for example, whether iPhone or Android, very easy. Step one, there will be an app like this on your phone. It's part of your Google package. If you don't have it, go and download it. It is called Drive or Google Drive. Download it. If you can see this, give me some thumbs again. Okay. Step two says, when you open that app, you will see shared. Once you click on shared, you will see step three, which is any courses that MPT have shared with you. For example, if we've shared an entire folder, or right now, what you will even see is sharing individual courses with you, which is straight to step 4. And the moment you open it, it will normally be in this format. The moment you open it, you will see the videos. But now we've restructured the folder and you will no longer see just the video. So, but let's stop at step 4 for now, where you will see whatever MPT has shared with you, right? Now, this is when you are accessing with phone. One thing you will notice is that step 2, you are clicking on shared at the bottom. And that's the most important thing you need to do, to now scroll through your drive under shared to get the files that MPT have shared with you. But if you are accessing with system, it is slightly different. Look at this. Step 1 says that you must log into your Google account first. And your Google account, whatever Google account you are on at the moment, you will see this dot at the top, which is step 1. And that is where you need to click on to see all the Google applications, right? Although the logo for this Google Drive has changed. If you are aware that this logo has changed, give me some thumbs. The logo has changed. So whatever you see, but just take the name, you will see Drive. Some of the logos has changed, just to let you know. And then step 2, open Drive. It is Drive that you will get to see the videos from. For system, once you open Drive, you will see on your left side, shared with me, whatever it is that is there. Where you are going to is shared with me. Once you click shared with me, you will see whatever has been shared with you. If so many people have shared something with you from in the past, you need to scroll through to see folders. So when you're checking, they're always in folder form, folder like this. Look at this step 4. So what you see is a folder, and you can then open it. You will see courses. If it is a course that is shared with you, maybe if you're writing plenty courses, you will see plenty folders that have been shared with you, and that's it. Now, the moment you open the folder, I need to show you the actual drive so that you see the current structure, right? Let me see if I have it opened. Yeah, so let's go to this, for example. Say you go to SFM, right? Let's say SFM has been shared with you. This is SFM. This is SFM November 2026 folder. And the moment you open that folder, you will see 3 folders. If you can see 3 folders, give me some thumbs. And you will see that there is a folder for lecture information sheet, and there is a folder for lecture videos, that's SFM videos, and there's a folder for lecture note and worksheet. For all your notes, this is where we are going to be uploading them, not on the WhatsApp group. For your videos, this is where we are going to be uploading them. And this sheet is very important. Let me now show you this sheet. When I have it opened already. So the moment I open this sheet, this is what you see. This is what you see. And you will basically see the first tab is Access Lecture. Access Lecture, this is where you are going to get link that you'll be using to join the lecture, right? So anytime, any day, just come here and click on the link to join the lecture. Over time, you can decide to copy it and put it somewhere in your personal chat or anywhere that is easier for you to access, whatever works for you. But we are just telling you that this is where we are sharing the lecture link with you. For all the courses, you can see, let me go back. For every course, this is how the folder is structured. This is where you access your notes. This is where you access your video. For things like lecture link and Vimeo as well, it is this lecture information sheet that you will open to see it. I have it open for SFM, for example. There are only 2 tabs there for now. If there is any additional tab, we will communicate with you. The first tab is for accessing lecture link. This is it here. And this is the lecture link for SFM. Sometimes sometimes we try to share a combined lecture link as well. Maybe for some few combined lecture, that will always be down for those courses that it applies to, right? And then the next tab is for Vimeo, which is very important that you see what we have. I think this will be changed anyways, but this is what it looks like, where you are able to get to see the link and the instruction to access Vimeo. But I've mentioned that that is not something that is live for now. So when we get to set that up ready for the diet, that will also be shared with you. And that is what the folder looks like, in addition to this particular PDF that I've just presented to you. The next thing I need to show you is this. So we mentioned that we have a course chart. And a lot of students get to ask questions throughout the diet. Oh, please, can I get MPT course chart? Can I get this? Some people don't even know that it exists. But this is a material that helps you to see trends of past questions over a period of time. And you will see it that we have it for all the courses. Look at the table of content. And for case study, for example, the table is showing you all the diets that case study have been examined, the industry that they tested, all the areas that was tested, like financial analysis, all of these things that were tested. Okay. For SFM, for example, you will see all the diet that have been tested for each topic, and you can easily see trends And for example, if you attend lectures on topic like option now, you can easily see diets with questions to practice, right? And that's basically how it works. We have it like that for all the courses, you know, in each page. So, and that's basically it. You can see that it's a long document, and this is important for your use throughout the diet. And that is our course chart. Okay. So if I go back to the slide, we also talked about the student cost tracker, the student cost tracker. So we have this, and you can see that a lot of people are online. A lot of people are online. You will see that we pasted the agenda for this meeting here as well, just before the call. And this is a sheet to help you track how we are progressing with lecture for the diet. You will see all your courses here. You can see that the coverage level at the moment is 0%, right? So, and that's because we are in week 1. We haven't done any lecture basically. And then you will see tabs that will be updated from time to time. Look at this week 1, for example. Webinar is holding the same timetable that is shared on the group, really. You will always see this for each week, and we will also paste it here. Our standard timetable here, our student grouping here. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, this has been cleared. But when we put you on groups for body sessions, this is where you can easily come and search for your name and know where you belong to. But we'll always send you email as well. And the body timetable will be updated, and that will be pasted here. We'll also be shared on the group for you to know the timetable we are working with for body, right? And then these are activities of mock exam. May, for example, these are people that want that. These are the top participants in our mock exams. Uh, I'm not sure why we have 10,000 here. I think this is old. If I may confirm, I don't know, but I think it was 20,000. But that's already past that anyways. I think it was 20,000 that we gave to these top participants. And this is what the feedback looks like, where a lot of people don't get to submit, and it's part of the issue we're talking about. But for the people who submit their mock exams for review, we do review and provide proper feedbacks like this for all the courses. And if I try to show you hidden sheet, you will see that past diet is there as well. Case study as well. We do provide feedback. I'm not sure we ended up putting, I think we only worked through it on the call. This is what the feedbacks look like for case study. And now for each course that feeds into that summary sheet, this is what it looks like. So we have all the topics. You can see I'm only showing you SFM as an example, but you have it for all the courses. So all the topics are here. So once the topic is taken, our team will just come here and update that it is now taken. And once they update this, what you see happen to the dashboard is that it will update to say, oh, we are currently at 2.8%. And that is how we update those things throughout the diet, right? That is how we update these things throughout the diet. So, but because we haven't taken anything, let me just take it back to not taking. And this is the same thing for all other courses, as you can see. The only other one I need to speak to on this sheet is case study. You will see that case study has a special model where we do first 2-3 lectures is usually to focus on detailed report essential to teach you how to write reports. And then we have few other classes before that to look at specific areas like financial analysis and all of those, after which we do start what we call report activities. And our report activities is always very key, where we give you assignments, we review it and do all of those things, like that summary of, look at it. This is what the feedback looks like, where all the people that are able to submit their report, we actually do review and give them feedback on their report, right? So going back to case study again, we also have, because case study is very special, ICANN releases the pre-scene simulation, pre-scene for the diet. That's the part of ICANN exam for case study that you are allowed to see before exam. And we dive deep into that pre-scene and do a lot of research, hold sessions to do a simulation. If you go on YouTube, you will see some of the videos on simulation for last diet and previous diet, but most of the videos are put on our private drive, basically, which you have access to. So the simulation is another big activity which we have. The timetable for the simulation is already put in the overall in the starter pack, and that's it. So this sheet is very important. Sometimes all we need to say on this group on the group is that, oh, the combined lecture link or this particular information is now put on your lecture on your student course tracker. When we say we've put something in the student course tracker, we are saying that we have come to put it in this sheet for you. Just come to this sheet and you have access to it. Obviously, it's only those that have paid that we normally grant access to this sheet. At the moment, so many people already have access to this sheet. Couple of people, I can see couple of people are online as well, but a lot of people already have access to this sheet, those that have paid. So once you make payment, we'll grant you access to all of these things. And that's basically it in terms of the cost chart. The other thing we've looked at I think the only one more thing to show is the e-library. Yeah, the e-library, and you will just give me 1 sec. Let me open up the e-library just to show you as well, and that will be the last one from me. So just 1 sec. So this is what the e-library looks like, right? Where we basically say, oh, e-library, the link is on the group, student resources, and you will see that general materials that everybody should have access to, we have actually put it on the e-library. Give me some thumbs if you can see a screen of this e-library, ICANN student resources. Yeah, great. So this is where you have folders. This is available, even this is made public. So even people outside MPT can access this folder. Don't mix this folder up with the resource folder for students that is only that our students have access to, where they can get their lecture notes, the videos, and other things that are private. That is only for our students. This e-library is general. So there you will see things like ICANN study text. If I open it, you will see all the study text. So you don't even need to ask anybody to send study text to you. You will see 2019 study text is here. You will see 2021 version is here. You will see 2025 version is here as well. We are expecting an updated study text for 2026 because of slight modification in the syllabus. We will put it here as well. Look at it. All the PDFs are here. You don't need anybody to send to you. If you click on this, they are made downloadable. So you are actually fine to access this and get anything you want. Look at ICANN Pathfinders. All the Pathfinders are well structured for each level, skills, professional and foundation Pathfinders. They are all here as well. You don't need anybody, because the reason I'm saying this is to help us limit the level of information that we put on the WhatsApp group, so that people don't miss important information, really, if you get my point. So some of these things are here in the library. They are also in the in our Telegram group. You will see lecture MPT summary notes, and you can actually see some of the summary notes here for some courses, right? So you can get them here, and mock exams. And you will see that we have been we have always conducted mock exams before now, but this was when it was in May 2023 that we started conducting a supervised mock exam. A supervised mock exam. If I open 2023, for example, you will see that as far back as that, this is question and answer. If I open question, for example, you will see that, that was when this is MPT ICANN, SFM mock exams. That was when we started conducting like a proper standard mock exams. And so we have it, one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 diets already of conducting standard mock exam. This is the most recent one, which is last diet. And these mock exams are very useful for your preparation as well. If I open SFM, which is my course, you would see that it's the same standard template which we have used for 7 diets now, to not the same question though, not the same question, but I'm just saying the same template, to ensure that students are well assessed. A mock exam that mirrors exactly what ICANN does, the standard of ICANN exam questions. And let me tell you this really, we don't just set mock exams, we advise our tutors to look into trends. You see that course chart that I showed you earlier, to study that trend, to look at things properly, and use that to feed into them setting questions for these mock exams. So when we set mock exam, this message is key now. It is not about whether you've seen the question before. Some of the questions might even be coming from your past questions. But the most important thing is that we are saying something about that topic that you are seeing in the past question. We are saying that topic, you should pay attention to it, something like that. But of course, we cannot capture all the topics that we probably want to test and all. So, and that is that with our mock exam. If you check this folder again, there is a folder for even some ACCA relevant materials. You will find them here. Some very old materials, you will see that we dump them here that are still relevant. You can use them. And more recent materials, ACCA study materials, we've now even grouped it into levels. Skills level, you can come here and say, okay, what material ACCA can I use for my PM? And you see PM course note as well. I think we can even put the study text and what is it called now? And the revision kit as well. But those ones might actually be in those past one, the old one, because yeah, let me see. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think F9 is okay. Yeah. So the team will look into it as well and put even more of the ACCA materials here, so that whenever you need to make reference to them, you can have a lot of. And then of course there are other random materials, just very minor, that you can reference for other courses. And this is the structure of the e-library that we have for you as well for the diet. And that's the summary of the things that we have in our lecture model. And that's the end of my presentation. So I will just allow Kato to pick it up from here and speak on the registration bit of the starter pack and some of the things that you need to be aware of regarding registration as well. And that, of course, is mostly applicable to those that are that are starting ICANN for the first time. But of course, people that are already, that have written exam before as well, you also need to register for exam. So just one sec. Let me try to change the settings. Yeah, I think we should try now, Kato. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
The video bit is not active. But it's fine. If you can hear me, then I will just go ahead. And the screen sharing functionality is also not active yet.
Is it from my end or from your end, Kato?
I think it is from the host controls.
No, I actually.
Screen sharing
Okay.
and video
Okay,
sharing.
I think it should be fine now. Let me. Yeah, it should be fine now.
Okay. Yes, it's back now. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'll be sharing my screen briefly. Just let me know when you can see my screen. Please let me know when you can see my screen, everyone, please. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So once again, welcome to Next Page Tutors. My name is Kato. We'll be walking you briefly through the registration processes in ICANN. So as an ICANN student, when you come in or when you attend the diet, you are expected to carry out some registrations. Okay, registrations ranging from the initial registration. To become an ICANN student, you will need to register, and ICANN will assign you a number. For those who have already written the exams, they already have this number. For those who have not written the exams at all, this is the first time you will be writing ICANN, you just want to start, then you would need to register and become a student member of ICANN. ICANN will then assign you a number which you henceforth use to complete every other process with ICANN. So we, as part of the services we provide in order to help our students focus on preparing and passing for the exams, we undertake to carry out these various registrations for our students. So as you can see on my screen, this document outlines the major registrations that you will most likely do as an ICANN student or even as a qualified chartered accountant. Okay, so the first one on the list is the registration, and this is usually the very first that you'll be required to do to get your registration number. The fee is there. The fees are also here. You will also, for some candidates who qualify for certain levels of exemption, you will also have the opportunity to apply for exemption to be exempted from some subjects at the foundation, some at skills. For some candidates, depending on the qualifications that you have, you may even exempt all the papers at the foundation, all the papers at the skills, and then start the exams at the professional level. But of course, you will know from after this presentation if you qualify or the level of exemption you qualify for. Okay, and what is present in this table here is majorly the processing fees for most of the processes. Okay, so what you can see here is majorly these are the processing fees for these processes, right? But we also have for some like the registration and induction. Okay, and then we also have forms. We run a virtual system. We conduct our activities, lecture, registration, and everything virtually. And the only way we are able to track the processes, collect your information to complete these processes is for you to fill forms and provide this information. So we have also provided forms here for you to fill anytime you make a payment for any process. Now, some students make the mistake of just coming here and filling all the forms. Maybe a candidate has paid for registration, then they open this and then they click and fill all of this form. And when you ask them, okay, you filled induction form, you filled exemption form, please provide your evidence of payment. They say, no, I just filled all the forms to be safe, to be sure that I don't fill the wrong form, miss. But the forms are specifically, indicated here. Only fill the form that you have made payment for, in order to avoid, having your information scattered all across our database for processes you are not applying for. But it's also mandatory that you fill a form after making payment. Because of the number we deal with, we always encourage students to pay the correct amount for the correct fees. Okay, we'll look at the fees table shortly. You also have, let me also mention subscription. Let me dwell on this a little bit. So as an ICANN student member, as a member of ICANN, you are expected to pay annual subscriptions to ICANN. This is a mandatory requirement by ICANN. So you're expected to pay that subscription every year. Every January 1, the subscription becomes due. Or for those of you who are just registering, from the moment your registration is approved, your subscription becomes due and you are expected to pay before proceeding with any other process. So after registration, any other thing you will do you must first of all pay for that subscription. So from the moment you register, know that subscription becomes due immediately. And in the first year of registration, your subscription amount is 6,400. 6,400 in the first year. Okay, so you have to pay this amount plus the processing fee. This processing fees here, you only pay them if you are applying for a particular process. So please take note of that. And this is not the fee for these processes. These are the processing fees for these processes. The amount for these processes are stated here. They are stated here. This is where you see the amount for the processes. And some of them, it is asterisk that you can find there. So this is, directing you to where you will actually find the fees themselves, the breakdown of the fees. So you pick according to your own, need. Then for those who are continuing students, the current subscription fee is 4,400 every year. So if you paid last year, they don't have to pay this year. If you have not paid this year, then you will have to pay. Please always check. You can log into your portal to check how much you owe and add the fees appropriately plus their processing fees and pay. Because of the work that this creates for us, when you don't pay correctly, there is a fine here of 2,000 extra processing fee. If you don't pay the correct amount, and we have to go and process before realizing that, oh, you didn't pay the correct amount, you have to go and repeat the process again, you'll pay a fine. So we really don't want you to pay this fine. So please, as much as possible, look at the fees, pay the correct amount, and we are good. If you are registering as a fresh student, there are documents that qualify you to register at this level. That is the professional level. These documents are what says, oh, this person is qualified to register at the professional level. We have the ATS level. If you don't have this document, you are not supposed to apply for registration as a professional student. A professional student, we're referring to everyone, foundation, skills, and professional. Okay, so these are the documents. A qualifying certificate, any BSc from any recognized institution in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. Okay, any recognized BSc or HND or equivalent in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, you need that. It's mandatory. If you don't have it, then you must either be an AAT, someone who has done ATS 1, 2, and 3, or is a graduate of the ATS level. Those are the only people that are allowed to register for ICANN without having maybe an academic certificate, such as your BSc certificate or HND certificate. So you have that. Now, when you're coming with your BSc, you also need to back it up with your NYSC, the discharge certificate or the exclusion certificates. If you don't have any of these, you should have your call-up letter. So any of these three things for NYSC works. Discharge, exclusion, or call-up letter works perfectly fine. If you don't have any of these three, then you must be ready to process the official transcript from your institutions directly to ICANN. ICANN will not accept the student, the other, any form of transcript. It has to be processed by your institution, your school, university, or polytechnic to ICANN. This document must be complete before your registration will be approved. This is for registration and exemption. If you have processed it once for registration, then that will serve for both registration and exemption, provided you are doing them in the same diet. Even if it's not in the same diet, you can always reach out to ICANN and say, oh, last diet, my institution sent my transcript on so date, and they should be able to track it. All right, so AAT is one of them. AAT are those that have written ATS, CIBN, CITN, or any other applicable professional certification that you have. A recent passport, so these documents are their marriage certificates for those that are doing change of name. I mean, you were previously Precious, now you are Promise. Okay, I mean, you're previously Precious Adeyemi, now you are Precious Adebayo. That's a change of name, right? You provide evidence for this change of name, okay, so that ICANN can effect the change in its registration. These are the examination fees. So if you look at this table here, we said examination fee, but we didn't state it. We didn't state it because the fees are unique. They are not unique. They are different for each candidate and different for the number of subjects you are writing. Please mute. Please mute. Mute. Okay. Simeon, if you can mute that person. So this is the exam fees. So when you're paying for exam, similar to what we have in the lecture fee, these are the exam fee per subject. This is one subject for foundation skills and professional, 2 subject, 3 subject, 4 subject, 5, 6. Okay. So depending on your level and the number of subjects you are writing, pick the appropriate fee, add the processing fee that is in this table here, and pay. Okay. Once you have paid, fill the form. The forms are in the first table there as well. Okay. And then you also have exemption. This is the exemption guide. We have the extended one that I will quickly share with you. Now, if you open this, we can't cover all of the programs here. We'll just cover the the most frequently occurring ones from AAT to DSC down to others, right? If you click on this link, this is a link. The blue number 9 here is a link. So if you click on it, it will open to a more detailed exemption guide. So let me show you what it opens. But when you have this document, we've been sharing it, we'll share it continually on the group, across our platform. So once you have it, you click on it and it will open you to this document. So this is the full exemption guide. You will look through it to find your own subject, your program, what you studied, and see if that program qualifies for exemption. Okay, you check through it and see if it qualifies for exemption. Then you can proceed. The fees are also stated there on the far left and right hand side. You'll find the fees for each of the programs, as well as the subject you'll be exempted from and the ones you'll be writing. Okay. We also have the lists of the MCATI. MCATI institutions are those institutions that have mutual cooperative agreement with ICANN. ICANN gives them a special exemption that they don't have to write the foundation level and the skills level. So if you're a graduate of these institutions, you have that level of exemption. The status is showing the name of the institution, the status, so if you graduated within this window, within this period, okay, you can apply for that level of exemption and you start straight from the professional level. We will share this information with you as well, and you can look through it and make payment appropriately. However, of course, when you look at this, you'll be asking, this didn't state how much I will be paying. Yes, it did not state it here, but it is there in the qualification exemption. So where the courses are, you will find the fees for MCATI. The MCATI fee is currently 135,000 naira. You'll find all the fees here, so you can pay accordingly and fill the form. We also have institutions. So these exemptions are not just granted to those that read accounting. Your institution has to be accredited by ICANN for you to qualify for these exemptions that we are talking about. So you also confirm from maybe your institution, your school will share document with you, but also do well to confirm, verify from your own institution. You have the information there. Your course mates that you graduated together, or those who are still studying there. You can ask questions and say, is my institution accredited, and all of that, and you can go ahead and apply for your exemption. So you have all of this information. Now we provide all of these services. Now, when you make payment for registrations, the account you are expected to pay for is different from the one you pay to when you are paying for lectures. So this is the account. If you scroll down to the end of this document, you'll find the account details there, the access account for now. If we have a change in this account, we will communicate it. But for now, make your payment to the access account for registration related. And yes, you can, if you are paying for registration, exemption, subscription, exam, and you have all the money in your account, you can transfer all of it at once. Maybe everything sums up to 220,000. Can transfer the entire 220,000 at once. Then you go and fill all of the forms that apply. And once you are filling the form, just upload the same evidence of payment where evidence of payment is required. And where they say, how much did you pay? Just put the exact amount. If it is 220,000 you pay, put 220,000 there, then give the breakdown. Oh, 56,000 is for exam, so amount for registration and all of that. That is fine. And we'll pick it up from there and complete the processes. Now, just to also mention, most times when students make payments to us, some students worry a lot. It's understandable anyways. You know, once they make payment like this, they begin to message us. I've paid. I just paid yesterday. I paid 2 days ago. I have not gotten any feedback. I paid and I filled the form. No feedback, no communication, nothing. You people just kept quiet. What is happening? And some people message every day to check on us. How is it going? Please, while we go into this diet, for those of you who will find yourself, paying for processes, try to avoid that level of pressure, putting that level of pressure on yourself. The processes take time. The time it takes, some will say, give me time. How long will it take? We cannot give you time because we don't control these things entirely, all right? Sometimes your process may be so fast that, within 1 week it's completed. Sometimes your process could delay that 1 month later is not completed. It's not because of us. Sometimes ICANN experiences, difficulties, glitches here and there. Last diet alone was something else. For those of you who wrote exams, last diet, they would testify that across all the processes, from exam registration to whatever, it was a headache. Things were delayed a lot, right? So those things happen. But one thing you can be rest assured is that if you have made payment to us and you have filled the form, go and continue to prepare for your exams. We have this covered. We have you covered. We will process it, everything. You can make all the payment at once. Don't say, I'm waiting for my registration number so that I can pay for my exemption. There's no need for that. If you have the money, pay for everything, fill the forms, and allow us, we will do the background work for you so that you can concentrate on preparing for your exams. Now, why is it even important for you to make this payment to us? First, it takes off the stress, the rigor of having to dedicate a very considerable amount of your time in doing this. It's time that should be used in preparing for your exams. That's one. Secondly, we have a record base. We keep record of everything. So you can come back 2 years later and say, MPT, I need my examination PIN for November 2025. We'll give it to you. Right? We'll give it to you. So some candidate last diet, they lost their pins, and they were unable to check their results. They have to go through a lot of stress. All of those we avoided. They just message the admin and say, this is my name, my number is this. Can I get my pin? We'll give it to you. Of course, we have various ways that this information will provided to you, but we'll keep them safe for you. You can access them anytime you need them in the future. And that takes off, work of having to store these things by yourself, even though you may not be needing them every now and then, but once in a while you will need them, right? So we'll keep them for you. So that is that about registration. So when you make payment, please don't pressure us too much. We are aware. If you don't fill the form, just know that your process is not being processed. Nothing is being done on it. But from the moment you fill the form and submit it, know that we have begun working on it. We work actively. We have a team that is dedicated to handling these things. But as you can see, we have not fully integrated AI into our systems yet. We are working towards that so that every minute that you need feedback, you'll be getting it, right? So when we fully automate everything, that will be possible. Right now, some of our processes, we are still using the conventional project management processes. So having to provide individual feedback every step of the way is difficult. But when we complete a process, we now notify you via email that, your registration has been completed. See your registration number. We have completed your exemption. You can now check the portal to see if it has been approved by ICANN. Oh, we have completed your examination registration. You can now wait until the docket is available online and you can print it. Now, let me quickly speak more on examination registration. We process exam. There are exam centers across the country, okay? Everywhere in Nigeria. I mean, not everywhere, but almost all the states in Nigeria have exam centers. Some states have more than one center. So what we do is that when you are filling the exam form, when you pay for exam and you're about to fill the exam form, you will have the choice to choose center of your choice. Okay? The option will be there. You choose center of your choice in the state you want to. Now, once you've chosen that, we will register you based on your selection. The earlier you register, the better the chance of you getting the center you want, especially those in states where there are several exam centers like Abuja, Lagos, some of Ilorin, another Ibadan, all of those that have more than one centers, right? So you register early to get the center of your choice. When we get very close to the exam, centers will get filled up and we'll ask you to choose centers that may not necessarily be your preferred centers. But yes, that is it about the examination registration. We'll also provide the examination center guide to you so that you see the centers, the location of each centers in the states and the address, and choose the one that is closest to you and make payment as early as possible so that your registration is done early, because if not so, you may miss out on your most preferred center. You don't want to be traveling miles, on the exam date. So that is it. All of this information, we'll share them with you in the group. I will take it up from there as well. So thank you for listening, Simeon. Over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kato, for that part as well. And that's basically it on the registration. I mean, if you got most of those information, especially for the starters, I mean, can we get some reactions just to be sure we are still together? And yeah, the most important thing I think you need to take away from that communication, because every other thing Kato said is more of now, okay, the things you need to do, this diet, the next diet, I know. But he said that it is better for people to register through a platform like MPT, because when you come in, even in 5 years' time, this information is there for you to use. And I remember some messages in my DM, right, that forwarded to the admin as well for them to attend to. People that qualified 2 years ago, 3 years ago, asking, oh, please, I need my receipts, all the receipts I use in paying for lecture, paying for this. Just go to the admin, they will give you everything. I need this, I need PIN to check this. And that's one thing about it. So if you just follow that part of, oh, jump on the portal and do registration yourself, it can be difficult to track by yourself. And also, when you make errors, it stresses you, and that you don't want to go through that headache. For people that do registration themselves, I mean, they can testify. And last diet, for example, so many issues from ICANN side, and we were able to put pressure on ICANN as well and say, all of these things that is happening is not coming from the students and is not coming from the tuition houses that are registering them, is actually coming from the glitch on the ICANN platform and all. And we were able to put that pressure on them that no matter what, you guys need to register all the students that still want to write this exam. So I remembered us registering people even on the exam day, because we told ICANN, these guys must write the exam. There was no issue from them, no issue from us and all. And sometimes that's the benefit. We cannot get to that position where we can prove to ICANN that this is it is from ICANN. They cannot tell us that, oh, this person should not still write exam. Even if it is for ICANN to give us an account number, a manual account number that we'll go and pay to, and we write a letter that the student will take to exam hall, we can go that far. So when Kato tells you that if you've made payment and you filled form, just go and sleep. Just do that, because that's a strong reminder that we are an ICANN accredited tuition house. We are also a member of the tuition house, top tuition house providers in Nigeria, and we have that voice as well. Okay. That's basically it. I think it's been a very beautiful presentation, just telling you all the things we've packaged for you, that you don't just want to go into a diet without any form of direction. You want to go with proper, show that readiness to explore, demonstrate that you have actually listened to this orientation and you know where things are. There is a course chart that can help you to navigate your past questions. There is a cost tracker that can help you to track how we are progressing with lecture. There are policies that can help you with rolling over, for making refunds, requesting for refunds, and all of those things. How to access videos. You need to, because you being able to prepare well is not just reading. It is knowing where things are, knowing where to get the right information, and this is part of it. And that's basically it with our presentation. So what we are going to do now is you try to stay on the call, because the moment this call has only a capacity of 100, the moment you are not able to stay live, maybe if you disconnect, someone else might join and you might not be able to join again. But of course, if you get disconnected, you can always join us on YouTube. The link is on the group. So we can take 3 to 5 minute break, and we resume a question and answer session, just for us to get water. Maybe Kato, myself, and our other colleagues on the call, and you as well, get water, grab water, just refresh your system, and let's come back by, say, 1:55, 1:56 to attend to your questions now. Is that okay? If that's okay, give me some thumbs, and then we can get relaxed for 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Thank you.
That's fine. So, thank you, Simeon. So while we are on that short break, I want to encourage you to follow us on our social media platforms. Some of you got to hear about us from social media platforms, from friends, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, IG, Facebook. So it will be important. It will be nice if you connect and stay with us there, and help to encourage so that others can also get to hear about us. So we'll be sharing the social media handles, so that you can follow us on all the ones that you are active on. Okay, so that you get information, you get firsthand, things when we share, basically. So thank you. I'll be sharing that in the chat box, as well as on the group, on all of our group chats. So we are on any of the main groups, WhatsApp,